You time travel from the year 2018 to 2020. You go outside and see everything closed and the streets empty. What's your reaction? What do you assume happened? Not going to lie, I'd probably think my time machine caused a paradox that just killed everyone, and I'll freak out until I notice all the toilet paper is gone and someone has to be behind that. I notice all the toilet paper is gone and someone has to be behind that it was probably those damn Charmin bears. I'd assume either bio or chemical warfare broke out. Because of no people in buildings still standing and no obvious signs like nuclear fallout. I think I'd just find a way to the internet, easy if time travel didn't duck up my phone, and be like, oh okay. Then check stocks over the 2 years. Buy a sports almanac. What sports? Esports. It's in the DLC. The Purge is a real thing now and I time traveled right in the middle of it. I mean technically, if the Purge was real it would have happened only last weekend, so you wouldn't be too far off. There's a strong possibility it could still happen, at least that's what I think. Who needs the Purge when politicians are already actively trying to find ways to get rich, or stay rich, while the rest of us die? Not only that, but they're actively telling us to die so that the economy can start up again. I read the signs on like every closed store's door talking about coronavirus quarantine and think, must be a quarantine. But given it doesn't mention the symptoms, do you assume or not assume it turns people into zombies? I would definitely assume that it's zombies. Where are they then? Said the streets were empty. I don't know. Hiding during the day like they do in I Am Legend maybe? Edit, people are really adamant to point out that those things were actually vampires. Okay. Yes, reasonable assumption to make. Honestly, if you already time traveled and appeared in a time where all the people were missing, I don't think anything would be unreasonable at that point, lol. I mean hell, if you told me this shit was gonna happen 3 months ago I wouldn't believe it. Saying what the hell happened here? Just like Ant-Man. Aw, snap. My butthole trick didn't work. If that will be India, then the police will beat the shit out of you for roaming around. Or teach you how to wash your hands. Lamau saw some viral video on that. Well, the thing it's most similar to when you go outside is the day of Princess Diana's funeral, so my immediate initial assumption would be that everyone was at home watching the Queen's funeral. You underestimate the power of the Queen's will to live. I probably would assume either a pandemic or World War III. So you would guess right. On both counts. Op never said which month in 2020. We're only 25% of the way through. Oh boy, do I got some news for you about the remaining 75%. That it's filled with puppies, sunshine, and economic recovery? No. Positive music stops. Record scratch. You're probably wondering how I got here. Obviously everyone has been out looking for me since I disappeared in 2018. But then people would be out. They would, but they've already checked here and are now further afield, obviously. Yeah, spread out in case you come out of hiding. Makes sense. Fortnite became so popular Epic had to start slaughtering entire towns and using the people's biomass to power their servers. This is my favorite explanation. I'm a zoomer, I pull out my phone and look it up. I'm 32, but I can't believe I would assume it's the Queen's funeral before this. Wow, the Games of Thrones finale must have been worth all of the build-up. Don't make me cry. Thanos. Oh snap. Exactly. Pretty much what's happening now. I was always a fan of I Am Legend. My name is Robert Neville. I am a survivor living in New York City. I am broadcasting on all M frequencies. I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday, when the sun is highest in the sky. If you are out there. If anyone is out there. I can provide food, I can provide shelter, I can provide security. If there's anybody out there. Anybody. Please. You are not alone. Kowalski analysis. There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere, Captain. That's normal though. Where in America are the streets empty? I'm in Texas and I wouldn't know anything was going on if it weren't for the news. I work in mall security. A few restaurants are offering takeout and the grocery store here has shortened hours. Oddly, Barnes & Noble is also open. The difference between our parking lot at 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. is probably only about 30 cars. Our lot has a couple thousand spaces. It almost feels apocalyptic walking around an empty mall at noon. My small town, with the exception of barbers, restaurants, and a few mom-pop shops, is still mainly open, so I probably wouldn't think anything. Yeah, it all depends on how familiar you are with where you were dropped. If I got dropped into NYC, London, anywhere in Italy, I'd know something serious had gone down. My small town in upstate NY. It's not as busy, some places are closed, and not as many people are walking around, but I wouldn't assume anything serious had happened, at a first look. Everyone moved to Mars probably. Damn it, Elon. I had the opposite effect. I just went for a run and Burns Park had 30 to 50 people there. I couldn't run down a street without people around. Aside for certain businesses being slow or closed, it is busy here in other places. Grocery stores are still busier than usual and people are out doing outdoor activities. I'd yell Laurel and see if anyone replies, no you dumb duck, it's Yanny. A brick also flies towards your head too. 12 monkeys. You wouldn't be far off. Oh, did that human-eating, self-replicating, indestructible flying nanobot that I created and stored in a container which I programmed to open on April 1, 2020 break out? Excuse me, the what? Ladies and gentlemen, our first boss. Only got half a heart. Got a gapple I could eat? Hell yeah. You got armor? Only fire-resistant enchanted gold. Alrighty then, here's a fully enchanted netherite armor, sword, pickaxe. And extra gapples. I'm placing my beacon, these nanobots stand no chance. Probably think there's radiation and I ducked up by going out. I'd probably assume that a hard Brexit was as bad as some people were saying it would be. Obviously the elite created a satanic artificial intelligence to carry out their dastardly plan of having CERN create a dark matter asteroid to take out God's chosen people, Newcastle United fans. Of course this is just step 3 on the way of creating the NWO and Rupert Murdoch as the head of Channel 5. We found a way to transmit our consciousness to computers, and are now living inside capsules that supply our body with nutrition and our brains hooked to a computer. Zombies. I didn't time travel, I know what happened. And I still think zombies. Think that I ducked up big and killed everyone. I assume someone must have paid a lot of money to shoot a post-apocalyptic movie. I saw the pictures in the news with a completely empty Times Square, and I was reminded of the American remake of Vanilla Sky. Early in the movie there is a scene where Tom Cruise's character runs frantically through a mysteriously depopulated Times Square. I remember reading that was that movie's money shot. It was apparently extremely expensive to pay all the people who would have been in Times Square at that time to stay out long enough to shoot that scene. Upon seeing the recent news shot, I imagine the director and producers of Vanilla Sky watching the same news and facepalming, thinking to themselves, if we'd just waited a couple decades, we could have gotten that shot, and therefore that movie, a whole lot cheaper. Freak out that I traveled to an alternate universe. Oh, so 2012 was of the world ends in 2020. Aw shit, it's 28 days later. Half-Life 3.